There's a lot of early side quests in Stalker 2 and many of them have missable unique weapons, like one of the best SMGs in the game, with the barrel magazine attachment. So depending on your choices, you can just completely miss the chance to get many of these weapons and attachments if you mess up. So today I'm going to go over how not to mess up these side quests and how to get 15 more weapons, attachments and blueprints you can find in Stalker 2. I've timestamped everything below and all of these side quests are based here in the garbage zone. You can come here at any time, whether you sided with the Stalkers or Wardens. But once you miss these guns, you can't go back and get them. But I'm sorry to say you may have completely missed this first unique gun until you start a new playthrough. It's called the Drowned, and it's the third best assault rifle in the game in terms of damage. It's a unique version of the AKM-74S, but with higher base damage. All the other stats are the same. But it does come with new attachments. Firstly, the double magazine. This actually halves the time it takes you to reload the gun. Now you just flip the mag upside down and put it back in, and then just exchange it the next time you reload. Now considering there's 31 bullets in each clip, it makes it faster to reload compared to the extended 40 round magazine. The other attachment is the underbarrel grenade launcher, a lethal explosive launcher that lets you fire nades that explode on impact, making it much easier to land accurately than a grenade, though you do have to get used to the trajectory of travel on these grenades, and obviously they are quite rare to come by. Overall, the Drowned is one of the best assault rifles in the entire game, especially because it's got a very common ammo type. You can get the unique Drowned weapon for yourself here in the center of the garbage zone at the slag heap. It's just to the south at the bridge entrance right here on the map as you're entering the compound. When you actually arrive, you'll see this NPC called Boo, who's complaining about dropping his gun into the irradiated sewer below. But if you already continued the main story up to the point where the ward takes control of the slag heap, he won't actually be there anymore. So there's no way for you to get this gun on this playthrough. You would have completely missed it. However, even if he's here, you can still mess this up. So what you should do is talk to him and offer to get the gun back from the radiation. Then you just drop down and pick up the weapon. You can then choose to keep it, or if you do give it back to him, he'll thank you and say you're too kind for this area, and then leave. Now, if you kill him, you can take it back. But if you wait more than like a minute, he's actually going to be standing inside the slag heap building, which is a safe area. So it's actually impossible to then kill him and take the weapon back. So if you make that choice, you would have obviously missed the unique weapon. The alternative method is to come here straight away and take it yourself. He will complain at you, and this is the next really important part. Make sure that you actually go back to him and tell him you're keeping it. Otherwise, the gun will be marked as an undroppable quest item forever until they patch that. But now you have the Drowned weapon, and unfortunately, you'll need to repair it because it's completely broken. You can also go ahead and upgrade its accuracy, its recoil, its range. Also upgrading its penetration so you do more damage against armored targets too. And of course, you can add other attachments to it like a scope or a red dot sight so you could turn it into a sniper. But first, I get to talk about a game which I'm really excited about, Path of Exile 2. They've sponsored me to tell you about their new action RPG in early access that you can play solo or in couch co-op and crossplay. It's launching across Steam on PC, Xbox, PlayStation and the Epic Store. There's more than 100 unique boss fights with unique mechanics to learn as you journey across the world facing off against every form of evil you can imagine. Play 3 of the 6-act campaign in early access, and then there's a new endgame with revamped leagues to play from Path of Exile. It's going to be launching in early access with 6 classes to pick from: unarmed or quarterstaff wielding monks, rangers, sorcerers, witches, warriors, and crossbow wielding mercenaries. And they can all be meticulously customized with the new skill gem system. There'll be 120 gems in early access, with 240 coming before launch that grant devastating active skills, with 200 support gems that then customize their effects. They've made it much easier to get into, but it still has the depth that the old players will love. And you can try Path of Exile 2 right now for yourself from the link below in the description. But next, let's start our first side mission, because there's a side mission in Stalker 2 where it actually pays to be a terrible person. Trust me, I've tried every option. You can start the side mission Bud Mode at the slag heap right here on the map in the center of the garbage zone. Just head over to the slag heap bar by going inside this side door on the right, and you'll find two lovely gentlemen having a drink. In fact, they're so drunk they'll need your help to save their friend from radiation poisoning. The gents will provide you with 3 bottles of vodka on the table here to complete this side quest. Then they'll ask you to deposit 1 vodka bottle in each of the 3 different stashes, which they'll mark on your map for you. But they warn you not to touch the contents of each stash or their friend will be mad at you and you won't get a reward. Now this quest in Stalker 2 can go one of 3 different ways depending on your moral compass. But here's how you come out on top. Now after you leave, you're going to see 3 locations, 1, 2, 3 marked on your map with Stalker dead drops. You're going to have to go to these locations and put the vodka inside. The first location is on the right hand side here. Once you arrive, you'll see a massive pylon sticking out the ground. It's actually very easy to get to the stash. You just got to kind of climb up on the wooden tree, then jump over to this plank here, and the stash is in a bird's nest. So in this first stash, we find 2 artifacts, 1 medium and lesser one, and the Hilka Detector. Our instructions were to place a vodka bottle in each stash without looting it. But I'll tell you right now that the best decision is to loot the stash for yourself. I'll also show you what happens if you do the quest properly later, and then you can decide for yourself what the best thing is to do. And yes, I did try to see what happens if you leave the loot in the stash, finish the quest, and then just come back later on and try and loot it later. But the developers thought about this and all the loot will be gone. So it's definitely best to take the loot now if you want to take it. And this stash is nuts. It gives you 2 artifacts that you can either keep or sell, but most importantly, the Hilka Detector, which is a massive upgrade over the Echo Detector you start the game with. Instead of just a blue flashing light, which increases in frequency when you come near an artifact, this one has a number that literally counts down from 100 to 0 when you're standing on top of the artifact. So it makes it much easier to figure out which direction you need to go to actually find where the artifact is located. So after you're done there, you're going to come to the left hand side over here, and we're going to go to this stash next. Once you reach this area, you're going to see a bunch of concrete around you, and in the center of this concrete stash, you'll see a bunch of yellow planks. This is where the stash is. You're going to have to smash through these planks to actually get to it, and then you'll be able to search the stash. Now this second stash is going to have a suppressor attachment and a RNBW 2x scope, along with a 100% durability M10 Gordon, which is basically like an Uzi. Now the M10 Gordon has an incredible firing rate, good penetration, but its damage is pretty mediocre, and obviously its range is bad. It's also not very accurate compared to other 9mm SMGs, and it kind of feels like you have to reload every time you hold down the trigger because the firing rate is just so fast. You're also just battling the recoil when you try and aim at someone too. Now you can attach a silencer and an extended magazine, which I will show you how to get later on in the video, and that does solve some of the weapon's problems. Even if you do upgrade it though, it doesn't get a lot better. You can reduce its recoil and boost its accuracy slightly, but the gun's still got integral flaws, and there's just better weapons that you can use instead of this. Let me know if you think differently in the comments though. So now if we zoom out again, we can go to the third location, which is just over here on the map. This is the poison hole. The stash says it's over here, but it's actually underground. So to get there, you see kind of like there's this sort of scrap area just below it. That's where we need to come. Watch out for the cliff though, because jumping off there will kill you. You can see the stash icon is just beyond that cliff. So beyond this wreckage you see here with all the scrap, there's a very well hidden cave that goes underground, hidden by the bushes there. But here you actually meet Panas at the last stash location. And if you've been looting all of his stashes, he will be angry and just flat out attack you. So you can go ahead and kill him. Just a quick side note though, the final stash that you visit, because you can go to any 3 of these stashes at whatever order you want to, but it's always the final one you visit will be where you meet Panas at. And you won't be able to loot that final stash. Even if you kill him, he won't be holding the loot's content. So if you're wondering what you missed inside of this loot stash, you would have got a bucket S2 SMG and the optician's gas mask. These are 2 less valuable items compared to the other stashes, and I'll show you how to get a unique version of this SMG later on in this video anyway. But after you've killed Panas, you can then return to the scrap heap to complete this side quest. Obviously though, because he doesn't show up, they won't give you a reward. They don't actually know that you killed him, so everything's fine. Your reward is all of the stolen stuff you stole from his loot stashes, which is way more than the reward they would have given you anyway. But what happens if you don't loot the stashes and you just put one vodka bottle in each one like you were supposed to do? Well, firstly, you'll miss out on all of that valuable loot I showed you. And if you do go for this option, make sure that before you go to the last stash where you'll meet Panas, that you actually get some anti-radiation medication. And now when you meet Panas at the last loot location, he will tell you that he asked those fools at the bar to give him anti-rad meds, not vodka. He'll then tell you about his addiction issues, and at this point you can give him the vodka anyway and then head back to the scrap heap where you'll actually find an extremely drunk Panas. And it turns out his friends wanted to keep him drunk to keep him in the scrap heap so they could all hang out together. And you'll get 1,754 coupons as a reward, which is a fraction of what you would have got if you just looted all his stashes. Alternatively, the best moral ending is if you give Panas the anti-rad meds, and then he will tell you about his dream to explore the zone. And now if you head back to the scrap heap to tell his friends, they will say because he didn't show up and he's still out there exploring, that they're not going to pay you. So you end up getting nothing, but you kind of did the right thing. And I think this quest really encapsulates Stalker 2's gameplay in a nutshell. But now we have the Hilka Detector, you should actually grab these other two artifacts. So in the northwest corner of the garbage zone, you're going to find the poisonous hole. And in the center of this location, it's literally right over here where my marker is. The location itself looks deadly, it's covered in chemicals, and you can basically navigate around them with the detector until you find the artifact. This one has a high chance of being a medium artifact though, so it's worth picking up and selling if you don't want to use it. And then there's another artifact you can find nearby, pretty much south of the poison hole, just over here on the map where I'm standing, next to this big fallen down pylon. Pretty much at the base of it, you can see it inside here, next to this dead body. This unique submachine gun in Stalker 2 has one of the highest damages, combined with a high rate of fire and a barrel magazine that holds 40 bullets. It's actually one of the best SMGs in Stalker 2, and it's called Shah's Mate. It's basically a unique Viper 5 with better stats, like having more damage. You can't actually take off the barrel mod attachment and put it on another Viper 5. There's no option to do it. And here's how to do the side quest so you don't miss this weapon. So this side quest is located in the very center of the garbage zone, just where I'm standing on the map. Southwest from the slag heap, you'll find this small little village, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4 houses. This one has a shipping container nearby. We want to specifically go into this house where I've put my marker though. When you arrive, you'll see the slag heap off in the distance there, and there's a yellow digger that's kind of like crushed the roof of this house. The front door is locked, which immediately made me wonder, okay, well, what's locked inside this house? So to get on top of this digger, you actually need to come all the way around here where these shipping containers are. And in there, you'll find an opening. So smash the box, and then you can get inside like so, and just smash your way through the container to unblock this exit into the next one. And then to get on the roof, you need to smash this container so you can just jump up. Wait 3 days for my stamina to regenerate. And now we need to run and jump onto the digger. Make sure you have enough stamina to actually jump. Yay! And then from here, we can just climb on top of the back of the digger and climb across to the roof of the house. In this house, you're going to find a bunch of bodies with yellow weapons to loot and sell, and a walkie-talkie on the table. So make sure you answer this. This is going to start the quest. And to continue, you need to go back to the slag heap just here on the map, right in the center of the garbage zone. If you look at the markers, you can see Haran is the trader at the back here. From the bar area, you can literally just come inside the weapons room here, and this is where you'll find Haran. We talked on the radio.
I was the guy you talked to on the radio.
This will then start the side mission, No Honor Among Thieves. He will then task you with getting back his package from Descent. And that's easy enough, but you'll want to complete it in a specific way so you don't miss out on both hidden weapons you can get from this side mission. Now he can be found on the southeast of the garbage zone, right here. He's located right here at the plant boiler station. Now, when you arrive, these guys will be hostile towards you, so I recommend using a silenced pistol to take them out stealthily. You'll also notice that there's a big boiler tower right at the back of the plant. That is a great spot to snipe them from above. Now, if you can stealthily make it inside the encampment and climb on the roof from this ladder here, from the rooftop, it's pretty easy to snipe everyone. Get wrecked, son. And if you guys are looking for this sniper I found, and if you guys want this sniper for yourself, you can find it in the description. I'll leave my guide that I made a couple of days ago on where to get it, along with a very good suit of armor. Get wrecked, son. And while you're on the roof, don't forget that there is a Stalker stash hidden behind the chimney here, so make sure you grab that. You can then come over to this ladder and just crouch and then drop down below onto the balcony here, and then you can come inside the building itself. Now, once you've taken them out, you can come over here and you'll find a hole in the floor. Let's drop in.
Hold on, Stalker. Don't shoot.
Now, when you meet Descent, he'll offer to make a deal with you. You can take the package and he will tell you about the Kingpin's secret stash if you let him live. So make sure that you agree to his terms, don't kill him yet. And then after you've taken the package back and he's told you the location of the secret stash, you'll just be able to kill him anyway. And then we can steal his GP37 assault rifle, which does have a pre-attached scope. Now, this weapon's durability is not good, it's pretty beaten up, but once repaired, this is what it can do. The GP37 has the lowest damage compared to other assault rifles, but once you hit late game and enemies start wearing armor, its high penetration is actually really helpful. Also, combined with its very high fire rate and accuracy, it means that your bullets will at least be hitting the enemies you're targeting as well. I'd recommend a rubber stock to reduce recoil, a cheek bag to boost your breath holding by 75%. You can change the scope on this weapon, boost the range of the weapon by another 10% with a flatness upgrade. Then right here on the barrel, there's some other options for upgrades. Rubber coating reduces the recoil even further, and so does adding a tactical foregrip. You can also further increase the bullet range and bullet spread. Overall, it has one of the highest ranges of any assault rifle and a decent enough penetration to deal a lot of damage. Personally though, I'm not so sure if I like it. You see, when you use it at range, it's accurate, but the bullets just don't have very much stopping power compared to other assault rifles. And I don't really want to be going for close quarters engagements with this unwieldy scope. Even with the various upgrades to max out the weapon's accuracy so it fires like a laser beam, and even increasing the range further, it still suffers from those same integral flaws. Let me know if you like this weapon in the comment section though. After you come back outside from this water tower here, if you come around to this garage area, there is actually another Stalker stash hidden behind this jacket. And just over here on the northern side of the building, if you actually hop down the gully here, underneath this truck, get a bunch of radiation, but there's also a loot satchel. Now we're done at the boiler plant station, we can head back over here to the slag heap to finish the side quest. And then after that, we'll obviously go and get his stash and see what this special weapon is. But for now, let's go and report into the weapon merchant and finish the quest. Here's the shipment.
I've got your goods.
Your coupons are on the way.
So he's just paid us 2,150 coupons. But next we can finally grab the unique submachine gun of the Kingpin, Shah's mate. Shah's stash itself is located in the northwest of the garbage heap, right here on the map. It's not too far from the poisonous hole and the maze. You see, it's literally on the train track just over here. And once you reach the loot spot on the train track, you'll see it's not actually here. So instead what you need to do is find the underpass just to the side. And in here, apparently it said the loot was guarded, but I can't see anyone. Oh my god, okay, so there's two dead guards, which we can loot for their weapons. And then over here, we actually have the stash itself. This stash will not be accessible if you didn't get told about the location from Descent. Now, once you picked up this unique weapon, you can also upgrade it even further, attaching a red dot sight to it for much easier aiming. Now, if you want to go around being completely stealthy with this weapon as well, you can also pick up a silencer for it in the Red Forest. You have to come all the way over here on the map to the Red Forest. There's actually a trader at this location, the pile driver location just here on the map. And once you do arrive, this is what the location looks like. Just head upstairs, it's a safe area, and you'll find the trader just in here. Just go ahead and trade with him, and as you can see, he offers the weirdly named pistol silencer for 5,300, which fits on the Viper 5 5, but now we have another side quest. You can miss this unique weapon in Stalker 2 called Spitter if you forget to loot this guy during this side mission. You can start this side mission right here in the center of the garbage zone at the slag heap base. So here we are at the slag heap, and we're going to head through the main entrance here. Just to the left of the bar, you'll go into the garage, and on the left here, this is the man you need to speak to.
I've got a job for you. It's real simple, and the pay is good.
We're going to say that we're in. This is going to start the side mission, A Big Score, which sounds too good to be true. And his buddies are located all the way on the southeast of the garbage zone, just here on the map, at an unmarked location, which is south from the plant boiler station. Make sure you come ready and armed for this one.
Hey, our muscles showed up.
You'll now need to rendezvous with his friends, but be prepared for an ambush.
Freeze and hand over your coupons. Do it with Shay, and you can leave.
So you can give them 4,500 coupons, or you can attack them. Obviously, attacking them is going to be the best deal. So run behind the cover, and we can start taking them out. Get wrecked, son. Now, the guy who ambushes you from behind does have an M10 Gordon, though it is obviously low quality. It's like 50% durability. And then most importantly, on this guy's body right here, Sochesko Chiri, now we can pick up Spitter, a unique version of the Bucket S2, with an Easter egg reference in its description. The past owner's initials were SC. This either stands for Sashanko Shiri or Sergeant Cheersov from Stalker Clear Skies. The Spitter has the highest damage of any SMG in Stalker 2, along with Saha's mate, which we got earlier. The penetration is also incredibly good, along with a rate of fire and accuracy, and it really does fire like a laser beam. But the only disappointment I need to point out is that due to the Spitter being a custom weapon, you cannot put a silencer on it. So in my opinion, the non-unique Bucket S2 is actually better, since I'd rather have a silenced version myself. But we can still get multiple rewards from this quest if we speak to Akapian, who also got robbed by these guys as well. He'll actually explain that Bebe, the guy who gave us the quest from the slag heap, set you up, and now you can accept a new mission from him to get back at him. And you'll need to pick up the unique Spitter weapon to do this. Now if we head back to the slag heap, you can speak to Bebe, who will be surprised that you're still alive. There's a bunch of conversation options here, but make sure you only pick the option to show him his friend's gun. He'll then get spooked out and ask you to protect him while he gets to his stash. So go ahead and follow him outside the heap, just a short way down the road, and soon you get to his hidden stash near these shipping containers right here. After he loots his stash, he's going to walk down the hill to a couple of other thugs and thank you for saving him. He'll then actually pay you over 3,300 coupons. But wait, because we can get another reward if we now go ahead and kill him. And on his body, he actually has a fully repaired AKM. And if you sell that along with the other guns you found during the quest, you can make quite a bit more money. But now if we actually go back to the heap, we can catch up with Akopian and get another reward for taking this guy out. He's going to give us another 3,300 coupons, and we'll get well over 15k for selling the guns as well. But you may have missed the extended magazine and blueprint during the main mission, The Price Goes Up. Don't worry though, you can just come back and get it in the hydroelectric station in the southeast of the garbage zone. Once you arrive, you can get access to the secret basement through this broken concrete pipe opposite the house. Now this pipe will be sealed if you've not started this main mission, so you won't actually be able to access the basement until you start the mission. And it doesn't matter if you sided with the ward or stalkers. Once inside, you can just break the planks to get into the basement. But once you're inside, take care of the anomalies and the electrical outbursts from the scanner machine that's still going off. It will actually stop every few seconds, and then it's going to be safe for you to pass through and simply turn off the scanner, which will disable all of the anomalies around you and in the surrounding area. After doing this, you're then safe to loot the body for a blueprint upgrade to the Integral A. I will be making a guide on how to get that gun, and I'll link it down below in the description. So make sure you subscribe for that. Next, we can grab the mission objective, which is the keypad from the body up the stairs. And then you can just go back and climb the ladder safely into the house above. Once in the house, if you then go through the broken wall to the right, you'll enter the bedroom where you can find a blue loot stash which has a high-capacity M10 Gordon magazine inside, for even more rat-a-tat-tat, as it says in the description. And if you want a silencer for the weapon, you can find that linked below in the description. It's the same one that goes on the UDP compact pistol. But if you are interested in using the M10 Gordon, you can find another blueprint that improves its recoil, one of the biggest weaknesses of the weapon. And you can find this in the very north of the garbage zone, right here on the map, at the Iron Forest Gate, which is the entrance to the next zone. It's just on top of this building here. Once you do arrive at the location, it's in this grey and brick building over here that you're going to find it. Just come up the staircase, hop on this railing here, and then you'll have to like sprint jump onto the door and then onto the top of the roof here. And then right here you'll find the Stalker stash, and inside here you have the blueprint rubber layer. Partially dampens recoil, which is amazing for the M10 Gordon. So let's grab that. Did you guys meet the legend in Stalker 2? He's a bit of an unmarked secret side quest, and depending on your choices, you can get a 4 or 221 from him, which I believe may be the earliest place you can get this in the game. He's located in the southwest of the garbage zone, here at the flea market. And once you arrive, you'll find a bunch of rookie soldiers sitting around a stalker called Lex the Legend. And if you actually sit down and stay a while, you'll hear him telling stories of various tips and tricks about how to survive the zone and what to do in certain situations. But if you've played the game, you'll know that he's giving you pretty terrible advice, and following that advice would probably get you killed. I do honestly recommend listening to him though, because it's pretty funny, and you can even pay him to tell you more useless facts for 1,500 coupons a pop. Now, once you're done with listening to his BS, you can call him out and tell him to cut the crap. At this point, you have the option to attack him, or you can make a deal with him. If you do take him up on his deal, he'll actually give you a Legendary Stash location. And this stash is just to the west of the flea market over here on the map. So now he's given us the location of his Legendary Stash. I had to get to my rookies fast. The backpack was too heavy, so I left it behind, tossed it on the roof of a Caterpillar tractor west of the flea market. The artifacts inside are worth a fortune. My god, I can't wait to get near this Caterpillar. And by the way, there is a bloodsucker that will spawn and try and kill you near this location, which is a bit of an ambush. Can't even find where its body was, but I've killed it now. This is the Caterpillar tractor, and yes, you're going to get a bunch of radiation when you walk over to it to try and get on its roof. But the stash is indeed up there, so let's go ahead and loot it. It has a broken PTM pistol, a bit of bread, and a note. A note from Lex the Legend's generous stash. A first lesson of some sort. Don't trust the loudmouth's promising dope loot. I bet you it's not what you came here looking for. Still beats a bullet through your skull though. The Legend's letting you go, so hit the road, and after you better appreciate it. Next time you won't be so lucky. Now, if you do head back to the flea market, you'll find everyone's cleared out and disappeared. But on his chair, if you look closely, you'll see there's a note to the Legend. It says, "Hi teacher, I spotted you near the swamp with some sketchy guys the other day. If you're on a blind, just holler. We've got your back. P.S. Why are those thugs calling you Snag? If you don't mind me asking, just curious." Now, I don't know if the Legend will go somewhere else in the game and appear again and you'll be able to catch up with him. But one alternative thing you can do if you want a good weapon is to just kill him after you meet him. I'm going to return the favor by giving him a grenade in return. Oh no. Get wrecked, son. Oh no, the Legend is dead. Lex the Legend. He actually has a PDA on him belonging to Lex the Legend, aka Snag. His correspondence reveals a well-prepared scam. Lex maneuvered into a position of influence while doing business directly with the Kingpin. In the end, that didn't help him very much. But what he does have is a 4-221. It's pretty scuffed up with 37% durability, but it's a nice weapon. But now finally, I want to talk about the last weapon you probably should miss. But just a quick spoiler warning if you don't want to see a main mission cutscene that I'm about to play, because it's to do with this quest choice at the end of the Garbage Heap storyline. In Stalkers 2's main story, you should actually miss this unique assault rifle, and I'm going to tell you why. So during the main mission, and you can't miss this, you'll have a choice to show your PDA to the Colonel or not. Now, if you show him, he will give you a unique assault rifle called Combatant. But funnily enough, if you sided with the Wardens earlier, you won't actually get offered this rifle as a reward for betraying your friends. It's only if you sided with the Stalkers initially will he make this offer to you. And this really shows that the Colonel is actually taking the mick out of you with this offer. But if you do decide to show the Colonel your PDA, he will give you this unique weapon called Combatant, a unique version of the AKM-74S, apart from it has a unique camo skin. Its stats are exactly the same though, and funnily enough, it has 0% durability. So he literally gives you a broken gun in exchange for you betraying your friends. The only positive is that this gun has a unique skin. But you can actually get a much better unique called Trophy if you watch my other video just over here. It's got a pre-attached silencer and a red dot sight. I'll also link it below in the description. And if you are watching on TikTok because somebody's literally copied and pasted this video on there and frustratingly got even more views than my YouTube channel, well, you'll have to come back to the channel to find it.